Hello, YouTube.
Blame
Welcome
Paul.
back to the second episode of the Poetry of Magnus, Barna, a Red Hall one-shot in Call of Cthulhu, where we're having a good time with, honestly, I love the characters, but a gaggle of idiots and Olivia, so it's a good time. It's a great time.
Excuse me, I have an 80 intelligence score.
Sorry, social idiots. Is that better?
Good, yep.
Yes.
Oh, I'm bad at everything, Justin. Don't you worry.
You guys arrive at the Assembly of Hope Church. This is a quiet, slanted building that looks like it's been in a state of disrepair for the last few years. The sign outside is actually empty. There's no letters on it or anything, but the faded paint that reads Assembly of Hope Church reminds you that you are at the right place. Behind the church is a large field that rolls down into a tree-filled area that's just swallowed in darkness as you guys approach the front door. Inside, the lights look off.
I will walk up and try the door handle.
Trunk, 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 trunk. It's locked.
Unusual. Perhaps there isn't a service tonight after all.
Darn.
I'm gonna start wandering around the perimeter of the building as you say whatever you're gonna say. I'm happy to listen.
No, this is Nathan. Can I Yeah, there's literally a listen skill. Can I listen to see if I hear anything from?
Yeah, give me a listen check.
Coming from the place. That beats my hard. That's a 20.
You just hear the sound of soft rain on wet grass and
Ooh.
a gentle wind through the trees.
Oh. That was beautiful.
Romantic.
Is that from the book?
No.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, I'm walking around the perimeter of the building.
Is this public property? Are you legally allowed to walk around here?
She just pulls out her badge and then says, "A cab," and keeps walking.
I want her to stamp it in Paul's head so there's a mark of her badge in his forehead.
Ow.
Olivia, do you react to Paul asking you that?
I just say it's a church. It's I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, churches are a weird in-between public and private property situation.
Okay, can't say I've ever been to a church before.
Count yourself lucky.
Okay.
So,
Go,
I
Frederick.
was just gonna, Liv, remind me, why is it exactly we're looking for the book here at the church? These thugs brought it to church?
My hypothesis lies somewhere in the realm of there being some sort of cult meeting that goes on in the evenings at this church.
Now, you had mentioned
And
cult before, but what made you think church cult?
well,
oh.
the specifics of this location were mentioned by Mr. Kilman.
Mm-hmm.
Richard said that the people who took the book he saw at the only service he's ever been to here before.
Okay, and did he describe this service as a cult service? And
He's-
are you going to take the word of the man you said seemed high?
He said it wasn't for him.
Also, the way he described the individuals and the enlightenment that they receive from this particular book inspires imagery of cult activity. Wouldn't you agree, Alex? Greg?
Very much so.
Sounded like some true crime books I've read.
Right, I do have an occult score. Cool.
All right. No, I'm going to I'm gonna elbow Paul, ask for one of the snacks he clearly wrapped up and took from Barnaby's, and munch on that.
Yep, I've got a nice jacket, vest on, and in the interior pockets there's one with potato chips and one with some cookies in there.
Yeah, a little granola bar.
Yeah, it's like a granola cookie.
Hate I hate, Marshall, that your characters always carry food in their pockets, unprotected. I just want you to know
Yeah.
this is the real horror of Red All.
That's why I made the.
This is
Okay.
this is
To
the
be
food
fair,
jacket.
all the sandwiches that his last character had were in Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
No. Remember, I immediately took them out of the bags and
You
put the bags
did.
in one pocket and the sandwich in another.
I forgot about that. I forgot. My
I
bad.
hate that so much.
I tried.
I didn't mean to
tried
make us
forget.
relive that.
It's how you eat a sandwich while you're stealthed. You just pull it out and you don't have to undo the bag and make a noise.
Do you guys follow Olivia around the building?
I'm gonna ask her if she wants us to do anything while she checks out. Like, how can we help you? You're the professional.
And we're not.
Well, this is hardly a professional situation at this point. Nor is it anything I would bother the police department with. But if you'd like to come, I'm sure it would benefit me to have backup, as it were.
Is Justin, the church front doors, is it like a door that you could like throw a rock through and like from the inside?
Yes.
Probably don't do that when there's a cop here.
I'm gonna
Paul.
I'm gonna pick up a rock and like look at Paul and look at the door. Like, should I?
No. What? Why? What?
I just don't think a cult would just let us in. But if we could get in,
Cults are usually looking to recruit.
Yeah, that's usually their thing.
all right.
I'm just.
I've walked far enough away that I'm not participating in this conversation.
I don't want to get too far away from her while we're in the east side, so I'm gonna go that way.
All right, I'm gonna as they've like talked me out of it, I'm gonna just be like, okay, and throw the rock with all my might to try and impress them a little bit.
Oh, I
I'm gonna roll.
I cannot wait.
Give me
Please,
a roll check.
please get a 99 and hit me in the back of the head.
I got a 91.
When you throw the rock, it's immediately lost in the darkness of the grounds, and no one knows where it went.
And I'm
You
just
do
gonna
hear a
sit-
soft thud maybe 7 feet away from you.
Nice arm. And then I'll just
follow.
follow
As you
Olivia.
guys round around the probably this is the north side of the building, there's nothing. But as you come around to the west side, you guys see that halfway down the side of the church, there is a small stairwell in the back that leads into a back exit. And notably, the light above the doorway is turning on every 6 seconds and then off every 6 seconds after that. Just repeating.
Are there any windows along the way?
No. Oh, there
Okay.
were on the north side of the building. There was like the traditional stained glass, but when you're at the back, it kind of like juts out and around. This seems to be like the service entrance. There is a small parking lot behind, and notably there are cars here currently.
Like a lot of cars.
Probably 8 to 12 cars.
Feels
Frederick
like a
is-
lot of cars for this time of night.
Frederick's gonna get really excited. He's gonna be like, I can help here. I know what to do. And he's gonna go up to the cars and like touch their hoods to see if they're warm.
Please tell me one of the car alarms goes off.
Give me a luck check, Frederick.
Lucky
Whatever.
boy. Oh,
As
trying
he's
to be
doing
sneaky.
this,
mwah.
as he's doing
That's
this,
an
I'm
8.
popping back around the side.
There is no... They're not warm, also because it's a cold March night and the rain is falling on them. So it could be because of that, or because they haven't been on for a while.
I'm gonna say to the group, I'm gonna like, it's cold. They've been here a while.
So I just
Well,
keep...
perhaps the meeting has already begun.
Is
Do you
that
think
the
that's-
light? The light that things get exposed under, or whatever Barnaby said. I'm a painter, not a poet.
I mean, perhaps.
Painting's
it does
a type
seem like
of poetry.
Yeah, painting's just the poetry of the brush, my friend.
I hate both you and the voice in my head.
Cool. All right. That that's fun. That's fine.
It does seem like some sort of a signal, if you will, a notification that something is going on.
Is that Morse code?
If it is, it's
I-
one letter over and over and over again.
Seems to be exactly the same repetition every 6 seconds. I will go down into the stairwell and listen at the door.
Sorry, it's the stairwell up. It goes.
Go up the stairwell to the door and
Well, that changes everything.
Give me a listen check.
I do not pass my listen check.
May I give it a shot as well?
Sure.
Nope.
You guys just hear every 6 seconds, for 6 seconds, the buzzing of a light turning on and then disappearing when it turns off.
You also hear Paul taking a sandwich of cookies with potato chips between them and
I
like
really
crunching it.
dislike Paul.
I love them.
Just covered in crumbs and pieces of chip at this point, and just like
Yes, Alex.
Listen, Olivia, detective, I'm not very good at any of this, but I did kind of have a thought.
Please.
Do you want to try this door or the front door, and I'll go knock and ask to get let in? Because, I mean, maybe it would help if they were looking somewhere else. I'm not too worried. Like, I mean, I'm gonna point at the rest of the group. Like, you're all like thinking this through and really clever with cars and knowledge
Oh, no,
and stuff.
I've just,
And I'm just saying they're not gonna suspect anything from me, so I'd probably be safe.
Well, I mean, I'm not certain we need to be particularly concerned. It seems just like a meeting, and we should just be able to walk in. Theoretically.
Do you think they'll give us the book, though? Because, I mean, if they were willing to punch a guy and break into his house, they're probably not going to give it to you just because you're a cop. Like, I'm just thinking maybe you want to go in there and, like, take it? Does that make any sense?
It does. I think we need to assess what is going on inside and if the book is even there to begin with.
Oh, yeah. No, of course. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great.
I'll knock, having heard nothing.
There's no answer.
Try knocking again. Try knocking louder. Maybe they didn't hear you.
I will try knocking louder.
There's no answer.
I'm just gonna try the door.
The door is open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It opens up as you guys step in. It's a little back hallway of the church where a hallway stretches in front of you in darkness. However, a light shines from your right as you look in from a stairwell leading down into the basement of the church.
Basement.
Are there any other
I'm
light
gonna,
switches?
No.
I'm gonna just point should we go?
Yes, I believe that we should. Now that the door is open, can I hear anything coming from the basement?
Give me a listen check.
I still don't pass.
You hear nothing from where you are.
There's just this
Are you waiting?
dude standing beside Olivia being like, excuse me. Are you here for the
You're
meeting?
trespassing. Excuse me. Do you guys want to step inside and go down the stairs?
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
I'm gonna
Only if
like
Olivia does.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little anxious. Like I'm starting to get like a little sweaty everywhere, and then I pull out my inhaler and.
As you guys round down the stairs, the walls are covered in like old, disgusting, like pieces of like that fake wood that are water damaged from all of the rain that leaks into the basement. When you guys hit the bottom of the stairs, it opens into another hallway That's darkness ahead of you, darkness to your right, but there is light coming from the hallway on the left. What would you guys like to do? Also, you guys do faintly hear the sound of a man talking.
Can I listen closely?
Yeah, you can give me a listen check to see how much you hear.
Fucking nothing.
You can't make sense of his words from this distance.
I'm gonna poke the wooden wall. How spongy is it?
It's not spongy, but like it indents in as if like, and then it like pops back out as if there's definitely a form of mold pushing it from the other side.
They shouldn't be keeping their books down here.
Would you guys like to go to the left?
Yeah, to the left, please.
When you get to the left, it actually is a doorway that opens up into a large kind of like utility, not a utility room, like a room where like anything can happen. Like it's like just like
a multi-purpose room.
A multi-purpose room. Thank you. And
we refer to that in a household as a rumpus room.
Rumpus room. Yeah. I was thinking
there is a man standing in front of about 11 people seated in chairs watching him. And as you step in or open the door, he looks at you and motions to the chairs as he says, "Brothers and sisters, tonight is a night where I truly feel as though we are as close as we can be to the light of the Lord. New friendly faces are always welcome. My friends, come, sit down and join us."
I will go and sit
down. Yep.
on the seat on the aisle of whatever row is available at the back.
I am going to try and charm the crowd here, because I do also have language Latin. So I'm going to...
oh my God.
They're not looking
what
at
is
you.
that?
They're not
what?
looking at you.
Uestes fortuita sakina.
No. He said the light of the Lord is upon us. And I don't know the Latin saying personally, but there's the Latin translation that's like the truth is my light. I'm going to try to charm them.
I'm sure they're gonna care.
I don't think they will, but I beat Ryan regular.
Veritas Lumia.
Yeah, you're able to know the saying, but no one really acknowledges it. The man just keeps
just
talking.
wanted an excuse to use my Latin.
There you go. Yeah. Let me ask you
plays
something.
This game for the roles.
Everybody here, have you ever felt impossibly small and unguided, and have you wondered if there was a purpose for you? Have you thought that maybe you were here directionless, lost, and that you were looking for something? Well, let me tell you, the light of the Lord shines us on all. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah,
Hallelujah.
the crowd all just kind of says it back, and he says,
I look at Olivia.
there is another
making
pathway
this face.
to heaven. As we know it before, as we've always believed that there was one way into heaven, but now there is something more, and we have all found it. We're all believers. We have seen the path, the alternative path to heaven. There's not just one way. We have the key, and together we will unlock the door. It'll take time. It'll take courage. It'll take will. But luckily, God will be with us with every step that we take to get there. Now, you might be wondering, have we learned anything new about this path? Well, I can tell you, yes, we have. This path, we begin by just believing, by dreaming, by hoping that we can find it. There exists something on the other side of this, where there is nothing but wonder and light and greatness, and it is ours free to explore. It is heaven here on earth, waiting for us before we venture forth into God's great embrace. Who is tired of living in this living hellscape?
Can
We're
I
devils.
reach over and like push Alex's hand down?
Where devils and demons control every step that we take. Do you ever feel overwhelmed and burdened by everything that weighs down on you? Well, worry not. Because once we step over and we begin to live on the other side, there's nothing but bliss there, my friends. Heaven on earth, heaven in Red Hall.
It's a death cult. It's a death cult. I'm gonna whisper to Paul.
Oh,
Can I look around and see if I notice a spindly man, an angry-looking bald man, and a redheaded woman.
Sure, give me
I'm
a
all
spot hidden.
I am. Frederick is just entranced by like what
Holy
is
shit,
happening.
how did I do that? That's an extreme.
You
Yeah, I
actually
just
do
do it
not
regular.
see any of those people
Okay.
here.
All right.
The service keeps going, and eventually it ends, and everyone's just kind of quietly murmuring. And the man who was speaking, obviously the quote-unquote priest, comes up to you guys, and he extends a hand and says, "So, we are so blessed that you all came to join us tonight. I'd like to introduce myself. I am Father Fletcher. I lead the services here at the Assembly of Hope Church.
Oh, Father Fletcher, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's almost.
I
as if
enjoyed
gods-
the Latin as you came in. Not many people know it. He says something in Latin to you. Can you give me a Latin check, please?
I would love
Fail,
to.
fail, 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 fail.
99%.
That's a 31, and
forget
I have a
Latin.
40 in Latin.
It's a bit too complex for you. You do pick up a few words, but
Yeah.
you're not able to know what he says.
I'll just to rebuff him. I'll say I'm more versed in philosophy and a little less the religion.
Well, I understand it. We all have our interests. So, what do you guys know about the dream? What brought you
not
here?
particularly familiar. We're looking for 3 individuals who we've been told frequent the meetings. A bald man, a spindly man, and a woman in her 30s with red hair. Do they sound familiar? I didn't notice them here tonight.
Let me say hello and good night to the few other people who came tonight, and then I'll come back to you if that's okay with you.
Certainly.
All right.
Are there any snacks?
Don't
here?
let him near the snack table.
No snacks. Sorry. And he backs up and just
Oh.
starts to talk with everyone else, slowly letting them out one by one, saying goodbye. Not like letting them out, like saying goodbye and seeing them off. Is there anything you guys want to talk about while this is happening?
Paul, you don't want to eat any snacks that are down in this basement. This is not a healthy place.
Oh, I don't plan to eat them. I'm taking these home to refill the bags I've got there.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you
Like-
need like money for groceries?
No, it just keeps the bag topped off, and then you don't have to buy a new bag of Lay's potato chips.
Greg, you can't tell me that this isn't the most interesting man you've ever met.
I'm really scared, actually.
Uh, He's
I feel
a
sort of sorry for him.
charismatic
enigma.
man.
He's an
I'm not-
enigma.
I'm not talking
blind
about
to
the
the beauty of
potato
this
chip
man.
guy.
Don't you worry, Paul.
About the
Don't you worry, Paul. I see you. I see you, Paul.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the preacher.
I'm a little... Isn't anyone else a little creeped out? Like, it feels like he's talking directly to you, even though there's other people in the room. And it's just... It's too good to be true, you know?
Are you
Like,
guys not just so enthralled by the concept of this book? Just
That's-
speaking directly to you? Have you ever seen art that can communicate to you in that way?
no.
I mean,
Neither have I. I have to.
But that's what's
This seemed
creepy.
like
Oh.
an errand for a lazy old bookkeeper, but I think he's trying to show us something.
I think he's
Oh,
trying to show us that we need to be careful and probably not do what you're. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know.
He said,
After the last people have come out, Father Fletcher, he is writing something on a small card at a table, and when he's finished, he drops the pen and begins to walk towards you.
Just drops it?
Onto the table that he's
This
writing
guy's
on.
a psychopath. He's a psychopath.
Did he at least like click it or recap it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
alright.
he wasn't just like... duh.
How did you guys see through him pretending he's an alien in a human suit? How have you guys figured out my mystery so quickly?
Because no one other than you drops pens. Nobody.
I'm sorry, Justin. Do you drop? Oh shit.
I do. I was like, boom. See you later. He comes over and he hands the small card to you, and he says, I know who you're talking about. 3 people of my church. I do not know the names of 2 of them. I've met them briefly. They were friends of Matthew. Matthew, however, was nearly my second hand when it came to this church. He told me about a book of poetry that he believed was the key to opening up the other side. He wanted to find heaven, he said.
Which one is Matthew?
What does he look like?
He would be what I would... He is not bald or a woman, so...
Excellent. That would have been weird if you'd
one.
named him after my brother. That'd been weird.
And
Why
it
didn't
was
you-
the bald guy who was the one who inflicted violence upon the other gentleman.
That sounds correct, yes.
Oh,
Yes, he always seemed as if he had some sort of evil inside of him. So I take it then you're not here because you believe, so to speak, of what I preach.
If you are also preaching about dreams, why wouldn't you be interested in that book?
Because such a thing to find heaven on earth takes time and patience and penitence with the Lord. You can't cheat your way there. The only book to find heaven that I care about is... He pulls out a small Bible that he keeps on his body.
So,
And he slides it back in. Yeah.
may I ask what you meant by another path then, if you're not interested in this book, but obviously you're a believer in the Bible?
Well, I believe that the book that they seek will grant access to this heaven that you see in your dreams, that I have been to and that I have walked and that I have experienced myself and I long to get back for. But such a book to cheat God means you work with the devil. Brian, if he truly... Matthew, if he truly does this and he's using this book, they haven't been to the service for nearly a week. If they're truly using this book to find heaven on earth, it's very likely some demons have fallen out. Or that they themselves have been swayed by these demons.
Do you really believe in demons?
I do.
He's a
I've seen them.
What do they look like?
We all have our own demons. They take the shape of what scares you, to implant themselves in you and truly find a new home. The card I gave you has Matthew's address.
Thank you. I quite appreciate it. Have you read the book or come into contact with it?
I've not, no. I warned when Matthew mentioned it to me. I explicitly told him not to seek it further, but he was very adamant that it was necessary.
If you haven't read the... Sorry, Olivia. If you haven't read the book, how have you experienced what they're saying the book gives you?
The book is not the key to enter heaven. There are many ways to find it. The book is just...
A cheat code?
Not a cheat code. It's a way to speak with the devil himself. To find an easier way in.
So what do you know of Magnus Barna?
Nothing at all.
Hmm.
I've never heard that name before Matthew spoke it to me.
He wrote the book. So you think Magnus Barna is in league with the devil?
I would say Magnus Barna is the devil himself.
This is so much.
Thank you for Matthew's address and all of your help. I am curious about these services that happen after hours behind a door with a seemingly innocuous signal that they are going on. What is different about them than the ones that happen upstairs?
It's better for the whole of Red Hall if only those willing to seek such things find the path to them.
And so your congregation down here, they're all searching for entrance into heaven in Red Hall
Yes,
through
exactly.
the Bible, but not through. So Matthew has found a way to commune with the devil through a book written by the devil. And I'm sorry, it's just so much. I haven't felt this alive in many, many, many months.
I would be careful, friend. That is the exact same fervor that Matthew spoke with about the book.
Don't worry, I'm sure our friend Paul will balance him out.
I'm actually getting tired, and all this talk of dreams is making me a little nervous of when I get to sleep tonight.
Who knows
Worry
if we'll
not.
get to sleep tonight?
The dreams, when you have them, are something else.
What was your vision of heaven that you dreamed of naturally, without the book's assistance?
If you're willing to share.
Sorry,
you want
Father,
to know more?
I must.
Our next service is in a week.
I
Come
must
then.
ask, Father. When you say you've been there, have you been there? Have you just seen it?
I have been there, I have interacted, and it has changed because of what I've done.
And so you know that when you're there in the dream in heaven, you can change the reality around. I mean, Frederick is just like, his eyes are like sparkles in them, and he's just staring at the rest of the group. Just
Fuck.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must close up the church, and I ask you all, please, if you can, to leave.
I go to
Absolutely.
shake his hand before leaving.
Yeah, he shakes it.
Yeah, I just vacate the premises.
I vacate. Oh,
I'm gonna
phrasing.
follow Frederick out and just be like, "Are you sure this is a good idea? I feel like Olivia doesn't think so." Like, this is kind of on the hush. Like, my character
yeah.
is
Don't.
cronying.
I'm not listening.
Alex, I understand your concern, but if people were not willing to dig up cadavers and cut them apart and do the unsanctimonious, we would not have modern medicine. Miracles are made by breaking boundaries.
You make me deeply
Man, your
uncomfortable.
poem really works.
No.
Oh, I nailed it.
Oh,
Is it just
I
hearts
guess-
on fire, hearts on fire?
I guess that makes sense. I don't know though. I don't know. Okay.
Alex, sorry, you must forgive me. How do I put it into context for you? If you had spent your whole life drawn to a single cause, driven to create art and becoming a master of such, but you can only learn, do, and create what is already known and perfected, and then something starts changing that, and then we learn that there is even more, a living art. Can you understand why I'm so intrigued and excited for this?
maybe we should talk to Olivia about it. Maybe see if we can get her to agree. Because, I mean, if she agrees, then it's probably okay.
I'm
Don't
sorry, I
you-
didn't realize Olivia was your mother. I thought you were a grown man.
Jesus!
I can make my own choices, thanks.
And if your choice is to defer to Olivia, I respect that. But I can also make my own choices. And the pursuit of experiencing heaven on earth? Could you not? Oh. The bliss, my friend. I haven't felt so inspired in months. I've been so drained. And I finally feel like my heart is beating in my chest.
What?
Yeah, I'll make my own choice. I'll think about it. I can make my own choices.
What would the group like to do? Do you guys want to call off the investigation tonight and continue tomorrow? Do you want to go to Matthew's place now? He lives very close to the church.
What day of the week is it?
It is Tuesday.
I don't know. I do
want to
have
go
to
to
work.
Matthew's house and just see what the place is like. I might not go in. Is it within walking distance of the church?
Yeah.
Then I will walk over to his place.
I will.
Before leaving, I actually will ask everyone to come with me.
I'll get in my car and drive along next to
Just
people walking.
slowly.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in the car with Paul. I really like Paul. I don't know if Paul likes me as much as I like Paul.
It's hard to
I'm
tell. It's hard to tell.
I'm gonna agree to come because Olivia asked, and then I'm gonna look at Frederick, and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I want to see Matthew's place too.
When when we're driving along beside them, I just want to look in like Paul's in his glove box or whatever. Like what's Paul's number one album?
Number one album? There's no
What?
music in his car.
Does he
Oh,
have it,
he's
like,
one
on
of those
talk
people.
radio?
He doesn't even have the buttons programmed on his radio for sure.
No,
All
you
just
just
static.
you just search through if you want something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Um,
currently on the AM radio station.
Yeah, as you're
Yeah.
searching through, you actually do find a news report of a homeless man found dead on the east side. They say the man was strangled to death with multiple scratches all over his body.
Name
Oh.
Hubcap Willie.
Oh no.
When you guys reach Matthew's building, it is a quiet, small house with all the lights off. The yard is well kept, and the house actually looks like there's some care in it, as opposed
Sorry,
to.
before we get there, as I'm walking with Olivia and Alex, you're walking with us as well? Okay, I'm gonna try and quietly talk to Olivia. I feel like we need to be careful with the others and this situation.
I do agree. I think that perhaps Frederick especially has a tendency to get caught up in the majesty of such things.
That was it.
Cool. Yeah, compared to other buildings you guys have seen on the east side, this one actually looks like it's pretty well kept, and almost as if it was like focused decision to be near the church that he goes to. But all the
And
lights
this is a
inside-
house?
Yes.
Okay. The lights are out.
And the car is pulled in the driveway.
Do you want to go see if the hood's warm? No, okay.
I'll do it.
Now, when you get to the car, it's cold. This car has not been on for at least a few hours.
Nope. It's good.
Oh my
Well,
god.
Greg, I saw it
Perhaps-
in an episode of Forensic Files, okay? I thought it might...
Does it not work?
I
Why are we
assumed it
doing
did.
it? Okay.
I just feel like Greg knows a little more than he's letting me in on. Is it a myth? What do you know that I don't? No more?
What?
That's what I thought.
Look,
And
I know-
Frederick's gonna like grumpily just kind of.
I know nothing about this. I know
I'm
equally as
assuming-
much
I'm
as you
assuming
do.
Paul and Frederick are still in the car, but we just have the windows down talking to them.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're driving really slowly, and then whenever a car's coming behind us, I like pull over and let it pass, and then get back on the road.
gentlemen, it's getting rather late. Perhaps we should not rudely awaken this man from a slumber. I imagine he will be more amicable tomorrow. But, and this is not something that I share lightly. I would very much appreciate it if you would be interested in continuing this investigation with me. I know the importance of having other individuals around with such matters. I would greatly appreciate it.
I can probably come. I have some holiday pay that I can cash in.
I have all of my holiday pays still, and I'm 4 days ahead on my work currently, so I'm free tomorrow, even though it's a Wednesday.
And
So that's
you two?
two of us.
I'm stuck looking at Frederick and Olivia, trying to figure out what to do.
Frederick's just like waiting to see how enthusiastic you are.
I mean, sure. Since Frederick's not pushing, I just go with Olivia. Yeah, I can make Wednesday work. Sure.
I wouldn't miss the opportunity to see something like this. Oh, for a childbirth, I don't know. A wedding, a funeral?
4 weddings and a funeral?
Frederick,
And a
you
birth.
have given the perfect opportunity for my next point, which is to say that we should perhaps be cautious with such things as this. In my experience, and I have had my fair share, both personally and through work, they are not always what they seem, and they are often wrapped in more nefarious repercussions than one might like.
Liv, Barnaby wouldn't have asked us if he didn't think we were the right people to do this.
You don't know Barnaby very well, then, do you?
No, truthfully, I don't know any of you very well, but I get along well enough.
Well, my recommendation would be caution, and I will act upon that as dutifully as I can on behalf of all of us.
Liv, please don't mistake my enthusiasm and my excitement for recklessness. It's just merely. Oh. I'm sitting at the table and I can smell the smells from the kitchen.
I mean, would it really hurt if we let Frederick read the book? I mean, we don't actually believe that there's some sort of ghost writer putting words in the book, writing a poem for Frederick, do we? Like, that's...
I've honestly heard of weirder stuff happening in this place.
I mean, I read a lot of books too, but it's not like that stuff happens in real life. I've lived here my whole life, like...
I so want it to be true, but I understand I am setting myself up for a grand disappointment.
Olivia's face in response to what you said just says that she absolutely disagrees vehemently with what you have said. That in her experience, that could exactly be true.
Do you want me to give you all a lift to your cars back at the church?
Can you guys give me a listen check?
I would
Yeah.
love to.
First roll of the night, baby. He's okay at listening.
Pass my normie.
That's
Pass my regular.
I just succeeded my normal.
That's just a normal.
51 out of 55.
Olivia, what did you get?
Normal.
Fail.
What did you get, Frederick?
Normal.
Everyone who got a normal one, you hear a sound coming from the house for just a second.
Is it a cat?
It is the sound of a woman singing, but it's sad and painful and almost like a wailing. And then it stops.
Did you
Oh,
hear
I
that?
can't in good conscience not go and check that out.
Don't you call for backup in a time like this if there's threat and harm?
My dear Paul, I don't know if you've realized by now, but this is not the normal situation. And that is not any normal sort of domestic violence or dispute or issue.
Okay.
And I will go up to the door.
As she walks away, I'm just gonna lean to Paul and be like, I really wish they wouldn't treat you like such an idiot.
When you reach the door, Olivia, what would you like to do?
Is it unlocked?
It is unlocked.
I will open it.
Inside, the house is as clean as the exterior showcases, but all the lights in the house are off currently.
Do we hear anything else, or has it gone completely quiet now?
It's gone completely quiet, and it looks like
Okay.
Megan is currently freezing.
She gone.
Yeah, apparently my internet connection is
Oh,
not happy.
We're here. We hear you again.
Yeah.
It's coming. Yep.
Yeah,
There
you're
we
back.
go. Yep.
Great.
Paul's gonna get out of his car and go into the trunk and get one of those like emergency flashing lights
Oh,
that
okay.
you have there.
Oh, I like it. Nice and
he's got a bit
spooky.
of a light source that's just like
Yeah, I love it, man. That's so good for the scene. I love it.
Is it like orange or yellow?
Yeah, it's like orange with like an orange red light. Yeah.
Cool.
So who's all going in the house?
I am.
Yeah, I'm going with my buddy
gonna
Paul.
come with the light.
I'm standing at the doorway. Like, this doesn't feel right.
I'm
When
going to step
Paul
into the
brings
house,
the
but I don't think I'm
emergency-
going to follow fully.
When Paul brings the emergency light in, I'm just gonna turn on. Is there a light switch nearby?
There is a light switch.
Does it work?
It does, yes.
I
I'm
was
just gonna
expecting-
turn on the light.
I was expecting you to like pull out your phone. Just
I mean, that was my second option.
This is a single floor house. What are you guys gonna look for?
I want to call out first before.
You are
Going
met
into the
with
house.
just silence.
Are we sure we heard something? Like, are we sure?
yeah.
I am quite certain, yes. I would like to check the bedroom first. That's the obvious place for this hour.
When you open the bedroom door, who's there with her?
I'm
Someone
probably
please be there.
I'm probably following her out like with the light just in case like there's no light in the room we're going into.
I'm not right with them. I'm a bit behind. Less afraid and more like to be reactionary in case anything happens to them.
All right. So we're gonna say Olivia and Paul, as you turn on the light in the bedroom, can I have each of you guys make sanity checks, please?
Yeah. Oh, that's a fail.
Also failed.
You guys each take 3 points of sanity damage as you find
Ow.
Matthew Ward lying on his bed on his back. He is sleeping and still clutching in his hand a statuette of Jesus. But on his face, reaching into his open mouth, is a ball of hands. Some reaching down the side of his head, some reaching up from around him. And as he breathes, all the hands tighten and then loosen with each breath he takes. And with
Don't
that,
like that.
we're going to say goodbye to YouTube.